I'm out on the cold green water, far from any land. I trim my sail to harness the wind and take off, overcoming all waves in my way. I look over to see my competitors as they race alongside me, all trying to pass one another to win, but only one can cross the line first. My competitors all have the same burning desire that keeps them warm. I spot a puff and quickly tack to take full advantage of it, hoping that it'll push me past the rest. My arms are tired from holding my coarse, wet line that makes up my main sheet. My legs are tired from hiking out over the choppy waters, but I know that everyone else feels the same pain as I do, so I push on, hoping that the others will break first. How many people here sail? And out of those people, who races? I have been sailing for about 4 years, and it has been the most enjoyable sport I have ever experienced. For those of you who do not know, I come from a long, long line of sailors on my mom's side. Everyone from that side of the family had to learn how to sail from a young age, and my brothers and I are no exception. Since Walter, my 17-year-old brother, was 8, he sailed at Housatonic Boat Club, HBC for short, and while it was fun, he wasn't gaining anything from it. After the club departed from the JSA LIS, short for Junior Sailing Association of Long Island Sound, my parents decided to enroll him in the Milford Yacht Club's program. This then led me to join the program when I was 9, and it changed my life forever. I had prior experience sailing a dinghy, for when my mom would take me out on Walter's Laser, and I would either steer or trim the sail. The summer before my first year of real sailing, my parents bought an Opti, a single-person boat designed like a bathtub if they had sails. They rigged the boat, then put me in and cast me away into the windy harbors of Buzzards Bay. Filled with anxiety, I thought I was going to crash into the piers, built with large rocks that tower over my boat on either side of me. My head was buzzing with fear, but also excitement for my new experience. Panicking, I quickly remembered all that my mom had taught me over the years and took hold of the tiller and the main sheet and turned away from the stationary danger. Relieved that I wasn't going to immediately break my boat, I managed to smoothly sail out past the piers and into the harbor itself. When I sailed back to shore, I bubbled with enthusiasm about how I had sailed in a boat by myself. I knew I was ready for the new challenges to come, but was still hesitant about going. Not knowing what to think, the summer to come felt like a lifetime of waiting, but over this time, I overcame my hesitance and realized that what was to come could only benefit me. The next summer, I sailed for 7 weeks, 5 days a week, and began to rise up through the levels of classes until eventually, at the end of the year, I was in the afternoon class, sailing with 3rd to 4th year sailors. When the summer ended, I was left wishing it could be longer, and only felt anticipation for the next summer. After a long wait, the next summer finally came around, and I went back, this year being my first year of actual racing. In the Opti class, there are 4 fleets: green, white, blue, and red, with green for beginners and white, blue, and red separated into age divisions. Having done green fleet the previous summer, I started the summer out in blue fleet, and to say I was terrible is an understatement. I was placing in the bottom tier of every race, and I wasn't starting on the line in time. At one point, while attempting a roll tack, a maneuver done to maintain speed, I fell out of my boat into the cold waters of Long Island Sound. I wasn't learning from my failures, and as a result, that made my abilities as a sailor suffer. My shortcomings in every regatta went unnoticed, and I never got better. Because of this, I wasn't able to qualify for Champs, a regional regatta requiring every sailor to place in the top 30%, and I thought that I had to be the worst sailor in the world. Doubting my skills as a sailor, my coaches and friends stepped in and helped me improve on my failures, so that in the summer to come, I could rise to new heights. Next year, my 3rd year of sailing, I qualified at 4 regattas, which is a very big accomplishment for me. I also had the opportunity to sail in a FIVA, which is an up-and-coming double-handed boat with an asymmetric spinnaker. For those of you who do not understand boat lingo, it just means that it consists of 2 sails with 2 people handling them and an extra sail for downwind. Because I was sailing a FIVA, I was eligible to go to the 3-day Larchmont Regatta. On the 2nd day of the 3-day competition, Larchmont holds an annual dance that everyone participating in the race can attend. The dance can get pretty crazy, and I'm not one to shy away from a party. Not to sound too wild, but I had 2 Shirley Tembles instead of 1. Because of how light I was, I went crowd surfing on top of the massive horde of people, all dancing to songs such as YMCA, Despacito, and Take Me Home Country Roads. While dance is the focal point of the regatta, I still enjoy the racing aspect just as much. This year, the wind was surprisingly strong for Long Island Sound. This gave me and my partner a big advantage, as we were one of the heavier groups, weighing in at about 222 pounds. We placed 3rd on the first day. Then on the second day, feeling tired and worn out from the previous races, we placed 4th. On the morning of the final day of Larchmont, the wind was blowing rapidly at about 15 knots, 3 times stronger than normal. The wind became stronger and stronger as we were rigging on the crowded and slippery docks. The wind created whitecaps, waves cresting with white foam at the top. The waves throwing us around, causing us to feel as if our boat were being tipped over, us with it. The first race this day, we placed 2nd because of our well-calculated start and the egregious mistakes other boats made downwind. However, the second race didn't go as well. We rounded the first mark at about mid-fleet and pulled up our spinnaker, an extra sail for downwind. But we had trouble getting it down, causing us to lose even more ground. We caught some boats on the way back up, but ended up getting only 13th in that race. When we came back to shore, my coach, partner, and I were all worried about whether or not we would keep our 4th place spot and trophy. The tension was growing because unless we knew the sail numbers of every boat, we could not accurately predict where we would be compared to the other boats we need to beat. In the end, we thought we would place in the top 10, but we weren't sure where. After a long wait, the results were posted online, and we had somehow managed to stay in 4th. It had been a long and hard 3 days overall, but to earn this achievement meant the world to me. Before this, I had never earned a trophy at a regatta before. The Blue Fleet is very competitive. Making it difficult to place in the top 5. Every regatta that hosts Blue Fleet usually has a Zaleski in first, a family of some of the best kid sailors on Long Island Sound, followed by kids who are coached non-stop by parents or private coaches. Because of this, I've never placed this high in a regatta, and it had been a dream of mine to someday earn a sailing trophy. My dream had finally come true after a bountiful amount of dedication and perseverance. After getting packed and ready to go, we went to the award ceremony to receive our trophies and then left feeling the satisfaction of winning at one of the most prominent regattas in the JSA. However, sailing isn't all about racing. Many of the reasons I sail is to just have fun. Some of these activities include halyard swinging on a J22, racing on a ridiculous course, or any ridiculous things or activities that our coaches can come up with. And because I sail Opties, it isn't very enjoyable to go on long-distance sails. The boats are designed for beginners and kids not heavy enough to move onto other boats, so the bow is flat, creating a surface that causes a lot of drag, slowing the boat down significantly. This alone does not call for a lot of fun, but it doesn't matter what boat I am in if I'm sailing with my friends. Whether it was doing a chalk talk, getting ice cream at Scoopy's, or even just racing, it was always fun with them. Even though we all go to separate schools, have different interests and passions, we still talk to each other off-season about normal things like high school, sports, and homework. Sometimes we get together to hang out at the yacht club for lunch, but this year, I was given the opportunity to connect to more of the younger sailors. This year, I became a junior instructor, essentially a CIT. So I helped the instructors with tow lines, rigging and de-rigging boats, and if needed, getting into the boats with kids and helping them understand the basics of sailing. I started out helping the Junior Buccaneers, which is like a daycare program for 4 to 6-year-olds, but because of my small size compared to the other JIs and general knowledge of sailing, I was put with the Opti 1s and 1.5s. Because of my JI position, I was placed in a motorboat with the instructors, which brought me closer to them, building a deep friendship and respect for each other. Sailing as a whole has helped me to grow in many ways. My determination comes from fighting until the end of each race to get even one more spot. My compassion comes from the care and support that is given by my coaches and friends. My courage comes from all the times it's been blowing 15 knots and I press on against the mightiest of waves. My problem solving from the constant possibility of something going wrong or how I'm going to catch up to the person ahead of me. All the traits I need to move forward can be traced back to sailing and the experience it's given me. The message I want to leave with you is to always push forward into new experiences, and to never give up despite the odds. Whether or not you succeed is irrelevant because you at least tried. When you fight until the end, it builds character and a robust set of skills that can be used later in life. Whether or not you sail, play a sport or not, whether you compete or not, I strongly encourage everyone to never give up against the toughest of ways. Next year, I'll be sailing a whole new boat that is bigger and faster. I'm hoping my skills as a sailor and my personal traits will grow from this new experience, as it has in the past years, and that my determination will shine through in the end. With the wind at my back, not only can I achieve greatness in sailing, but in life too. Thank you.